Hi, this is Stephen Klein with Healthy Fit Club, and I have my partner, Paige Clark, with me. Paige is a holistic health educator, Peak Health. She coaches people from all around the world on nutrition, how to be in good health, whether it's hormone issues, nutrition supplementation, what they're going to eat, as we know food is the best medicine. And we're lucky enough to have her here to answer some questions that you, the viewers, have of us. And today's topic is pretty important. I know two people that are dying to get this information page. We are going to talk about how to make sure your skin is tightened up when you lose significant amount of weight. Like someone that's maybe 300 pounds goes to 185, which has happened with a friend of mine, and somebody that's on their way. I know that you're familiar with people that have that rapid weight loss, where they have a lot of weight loss over a year's time, and they get this skin that just hangs down from their arms or their stomach or whatever. And sometimes the only alternative to what you're going to share is plastic surgery, right? So, Paige, what can people do to make sure that as they lose weight, their skin is tight and firm and not some eyesore that they've got to get remedied by a physician?
Well, good morning, Stephen.
Long intro.
When you bring up this topic, I think this is real dear to my heart because this is a real issue that a lot of people are having, and it's not just when they lose weight. It's as we age too. There's changes in our skin, and right. We want to do whatever we can do to make sure that we're giving our skin the support it needs. And just like other organs and glands in our body, our skin is our largest organ. Mm-hmm. And it needs a lot of support. So I like to start with the basics, Stephen. And I'm going to ask, when I'm coaching and educating people, I ask some of these basic questions. Are you drinking enough water? And what kind of water are you drinking? And, today we have more toxins in the water system than we can even believe. I shun to think that I used to tell people to buy bottled water, but today, the knowledge that I have now that most of the plastic water bottles are more toxic than even the water you get out of your tap without filtering, due to the fact that these are cheap plastics that they heat quickly. So you get something like a 25,000 chemical cocktail in each bottled water. So I really don't feel that's good. Mm-hmm. Immediately you start to not have the kind of water that we need, which is cleansing. You need to have pure water. You need to have it structured. And if you're not aware of what we call easy water or fourth phase water, we have our system, the Thera H2O system. You can buy an affordable pitcher or the countertop unit, and you're going to remove the chemicals from the water that make tap water questionable. You're going to restructure it like nature, and you're going to get more hydration into the cell. That's a topic in itself.
And we will definitely have a link in the description where people can take care of that issue and knock that out of the way. So that's important with anything, good quality water.
Yeah, what else? The water is good for getting good things into our cells and helping to remove the bad things.
Right.
The other thing that's really important about the way skin looks, Stephen, is the quality of our fascia. And what is fascia? Okay, well, if you're any female in the internet world, you know what the Fascia Blaster is. Ashley Black Systems, fasciablaster.com.
How do you spell fascia?
Fascia Blaster. Fascia.
Fasciablaster.com. We'll put that link too. Okay.
And I love this product. I think it's for young and old, and particularly athletes. It's actually where it had its start. She worked with performance athletes and helping them to have peak performance. And what we get we become bound. And she has a great system of explaining the levels of bound tissue. But think about it. Our skin is attached to the rest of our body through the fascia system. And dehydrated fascia is another word for cellulite. Whoa, nobody likes that word, but.
So, and I'm being way off, and I hope I don't ruin this video by being way off, but is fascia kind of, if you look at a chicken breast, that stuff that's like the little stuff that's kind of hard to peel away when you're breaking up, messing with chicken breasts or whatever, is that the fascia that?
It's like the support hose that holds our crystalline body. Remember how we've talked about the fact that we are crystalline water? We are fourth phase water. We are easy water. We are that coherent gel-like being. Well, the fascia is like the suit. Think of it like the Spider-Man suit. I like to explain it like the Spider-Man suit. So you slip it in the suit. But you know how Spider-Man has all these tweaks and turns and knots at different spots on the spider's web on his suit?
Yep.
That's what happens to our body from injuries. Our fascia gets twisted. You know, you had that bad injury from that car accident.
Yes,
You've got a lot of bounce fascia and scar tissue that hampers the look of your skin. So just
let me gross everybody out real quick. Look.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing there.
So you had a whole skin graft.
There. Yeah. So what does the Fascia Blaster do, Paige?
Well, the Fascia Blaster is just a great tool in this goal of having ideal, beautiful skin, as you've kind of gotten to. And anyone who would just go and look at the website, you'll see tremendous testimonies. What I love about it, it gets a lot of people out of pain. People who've had scar tissue, people who've had sports injuries, people who have become toxic and dehydrated. The fascia gets brittle. We want our fascia to be hydrated and supple.
So if their skin's already loose from losing a bunch of weight, the Fascia Blaster is not going to mess that up at all. It'll still help tighten it up then, right? Or
yeah, there's a little, you know, the community is rather active and they explain you go from better to worse. Sometimes when you're loosening the tissues, but then you allow the skin to go back to its resilience. But it's not just the Fascia Blaster. That's a big part of what I encourage when I'm teaching and educating and coaching my people to make good choices for themselves.
Sure.
Now that I found that tool, it's a tool.
Okay.
Water's a tool, and I think the Fascia Blaster in this toxic world is really important for getting the fascia and the skin healthy.
Okay.
It's a massage too. It's a mechanical movement, kind of like your rapid release. Okay.
Right. Okay.
With like little claws, so it's helping to release, and that is just brings circulation to the skin.
Right.
You know how you get red after you do those kind of therapies?
So they've got big support. They've got big forums and support or whatever. So moving on to supplementation.
Okay.
What should people be taking to make sure that they're supporting their collagen, keeping their skin tight and all that as they lose weight to avoid the loose skin?
So what does it take to build healthy skin? It takes the same thing it takes to build healthy eyes, healthy muscles, beautiful hair. You've got to have the building blocks. And the building blocks are not just our proteins. They are the proteins, but they're the building blocks of the proteins, which are the amino acids.
Okay.
And amino acids are what build all the protein structures of our bodies. So if we want to have beautiful skin, we have to make sure we're getting adequate protein. And it's a funny thing what we do. We eat protein. Our digestive system breaks down the protein into amino acids, and then our body has computer programs in the DNA. Oh, here's the instruction set for healthy skin. So we need to make sure we get the proper amino acids. Funny thing is, due to gut damage these days, people are not digesting their proteins properly. They're not getting enough proteins. Some people are eating a lot of protein, overeating protein, but they don't digest it and utilize it. It becomes a stressor to the system. You and I know that it's important to get the building blocks, and that's one of the first things I'm going to do. You want me to show you a couple of the things that I use?
Yeah. Instead of just talking about it, let's talk about, okay, number one, how can you digest proteins? What protein should you take? What would you recommend? And this isn't the end all be all. There's a lot of stuff out there. Yeah. But when you tell me take this, I know it's the best or a very high quality.
The brands that I use, I think, are the end all be all because we've kind of vetted them out. Okay, so I like the Perfect Amino.
The Perfect Amino, and that's made by Body Health.
Bodyhealth.com.
The Perfect Amino by Body Health.
And this is their Cool Lime powder. So, 2 scoops in some water. It tastes like lime Kool-Aid. No more sports drinks. Just drink your amino acids.
Okay.
They also make it in a tablet form. So you take 5 to 10 if you're very ill. Someone who's very ill or restructuring, they may want to take up to 30 a day of these, 10, 10, and 10. I enjoy having this powder because it tastes good. So this will ensure, because the protein doesn't have to be subjected to your digestive system. This is pre-digested. So it doesn't create.
Hold that up way close to the camera if you don't mind.
Okay.
Closer. Okay, into the light. Okay, Body Health, Perfect Amino. There we go. Okay. And we'll put a link for all this stuff. Everything we're mentioning in this video we'll have. Now, to make sure those proteins are digested well, like you were talking about, and for the gut, anything you'd recommend there? Well,
if you've got a leaky gut, which so many people do, you really need to start with healing the gut. And there are a lot of different products from that. I like collagen as a good thing for the gut. Bone broth, we've heard. Again, what is the connective tissue in our bodies? for skin, healthy hair, joints, connective tissue. Probably the gut healing is another video, but we'll just suffice it to say we want to have a healthy gut.
Which collagen would you recommend that you're talking about?
I like a couple different brands. Right now I'm going to show you Vital Proteins.
Okay.
And they have a couple different products. This is the collagen that dissolves easily in your beverages, warm or cold. This one is the coconut vanilla flavored.
Okay.
So you can add it to your smoothie. This is collagen. Well, you hear of men getting collagen injections in their skin?
Yes.
Okay? So what I also like about collagen, because it is another protein, is that collagen is the building block of healthy skin.
Right.
Again, like we say, if you're not really digesting your proteins better, my real secret insurance is the perfect amino that we just discussed.
Okay.
But collagen, you can add this to your healthy coffee brew like we do in the morning. You can add it to a smoothie. I much prefer collagen protein if you're going to supplement proteins than other proteins.
Okay.
I just think it's got the amino acid profile that we're missing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that it comes in there's a blue label and a different label for different flavors or whatever.
Yeah, the blue one's the plain. But so vitalproteins.com
okay.
is a great source for these different ones. This is they actually have one called the Beauty that's got greens mixed with the collagen, which brings me to that. Body Health has it, and I apologize. I'm not sure. I could move out of the camera, but I just remembered their greens. Their Perfect Greens is delicious.
Okay. We're going to put a link for the Perfect Greens, so you help me put that together.
From Body Health. I love their greens. Add a little apple cider vinegar. You're getting your prebiotic. Gives it a little tang. What I like about their greens is that people like them. And, I've sold a lot of people their green powders, and then they come in and see me the next month, and because I want to make sure they're getting good minerals and antioxidants, and I say, okay, so you need some more greens. They go, oh, no, I'm fine. I got plenty. I'm like, you shouldn't have plenty if you were taking them.
Right. You should be out. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
So when we say the greens, what are we talking about? Why do we have greens? We have greens because greens and vegetables are the sources of minerals. And minerals are what are the catalysts for doing things. For one thing, we need the minerals to make all the reactions of bodies. I mean, I actually like to make sure people get good minerals before I supplement vitamins, with the exception of the fat-soluble vitamins. And that's because, we need the minerals to absorb a lot of the fat-soluble. We need the fat-soluble vitamins to absorb the minerals.
Gotcha. So, all right. So that's a good, it's pretty comprehensive. Is there anything else?
Hey, shameless plug. Okay. Shameless plug.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Primal Edge.
The Primal Edge. Okay, we will put and that's the Volvic. Is that what you call Volvic minerals?
This is the fulvic humic minerals. This is actually, from our podcast. Nico and I worked with a manufacturer that does provides, I believe, the best in terms of providing whole food nutrition and fulvic minerals. The fulvic ancient minerals has amino acids, has a lot of key nutrients. And I call it the one-shot wonder, but it's kind of that nature's alchemical genius is the fulvic humic acid. So I really recommend people, if they're wanting to kind of have a blanket insurance policy. I mean, you take the Primal Edge, so it's good. Mm-hmm. And that's covering a lot of nutritional basis right there.
Okay, killer. And any other vitamins?
Yeah, I want to go on because important for building healthy skin. We've covered the staying hydrated and good healthy source of water. Mm-hmm. We've talked about having the building blocks of the whole body, which are the amino acids. Get digested to make sure you're really getting what you need. I mean, I see some women that want to see their skin tighten up and their hair get better. Wow. And people have more energy with amino acids, the perfect aminos. And then we talked about the collagen from Vital Proteins and healthy greens and then healthy minerals. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the fat-soluble activators.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, if we get our minerals and we get our amino acids, our body has the ability to make a lot of the vitamins and cofactors they need. But the fat-soluble nutrition, I think, is extremely important for overall skin health and joint and so forth. And that's all related.
Right.
building block. So I love vitamin A. Vitamin A, and I'm talking about real vitamin A, not beta carotene that we get from our greens. I'm talking about real retinol vitamin A from animal sources, such as cod liver oil. And Stephen, I forgot to grab my Dropey.
Is that the Dropey? I can show it. You
okay.
So tell everybody about how beta carotene doesn't necessarily become or transition into vitamin A in the body, why that is, because a lot of vegans obviously could use that, but mention that because
a vegan or somebody who's not making the conversion of the beta carotene many times will have orange palms, their skin, they're not breaking down their carotenoids, and there's just no better source of vitamin A than the animal sources, or that's our favorite.
Backwards.
Oh, that's really close up there, Stephen. Yep, pure Icelandic cod liver oil, extra virgin. Icelandic, it's got date, time stamp. What I love about it, listen, let me tell you about the Dropey. My grandbaby, as soon as he sees me, he wants his fish oils, and I have Premier's DHA that I love as well. But we're talking about the fat-soluble activator, so I want to stick to vitamin A. I want you to get good sources of vitamin A. I love Vital Proteins beef liver capsules. Okay, beef liver.
Now, would you say one or the other, or are you saying both?
Well, either or both. Just go for it. I mean, now, if I think that beef liver is something that's really missing from our diet. I don't know about you, but I know my grandparents ate it, but my mom didn't like it, so she didn't cook it for us. So the way I work with my people is I coach them to take these capsules. So if you like liver, then just eat liver and try and do it like once a week. But if you don't like it, Stephen, take the capsules and take like 8 of them, or 8 or 10 of them, okay, once a week, and it's as if you had liver for dinner.
And I will put up the video that Livia did preparing an amazing beef liver dish that I wanted to seek out some kind of organ meat to eat, but I never had anything that tasted good my whole life, and she made a dish that's absolutely incredible. So we'll put that link up too. So if you want to eat grass-fed, beef liver, boom, there you go. I'll have that on as well.
Oh yeah, if you'll eat it and you enjoy cooking it, it's a superfood. We focus so much on the fruits and truly. Fruits and vegetables are superfoods, not so much for the traditional nutrition, but for the phytochemicals that we don't even know the names of. A lot of it are found in a lot of these fruits and vegetables. Think of the fruits and vegetables and herbs as medicines, but our superfoods are still found, I think, in some of the fat-soluble nutrition of animal foods. Another great source of vitamin A and vitamin K is grass-fed butter. Because, and my favorite, Stephen, I forgot to grab it. I don't want to go all the way in the other room, is the Walkabout Emu Oil, or vitamin K2.
Walkabout Emu Oil. Okay. So we'll have that in the description also. I have not tried that before. I've heard you talk about it a ton. So, okay.
It's the best. Well, Weston A. Price determined that the healthiest people in the world from his travels were the Australian Aborigines, and they treasured this oil from the emu, and it has a better. It even has great omega-3, 6s, 9s. We're going to do a whole video.
Okay.
To walk about. In fact, we're going to talk with the people because we have a relationship with the people that bring it to this country.
So so one thing I want to ask you about, Paige, is expectations on tightening up loose skin. I know a lot of people are going to want to see something happen overnight. A lot of people are going to be disillusioned that they lose a ton of weight and they're left with this sagging skin. If people are able to see this video and start taking this stuff while they're losing the weight, I'm sure they're going to have better results as far as the loose skin. But somebody's got that loose skin and they start to take this stuff, they use the fascia blaster, they drink the water, all the things we talked about. What can they expect as far as tightening up the skin over time? Will it come back to where, can you expect it to come back to where it's you don't need to do anything else, or would somebody still need some type of work? What's your opinion on that?
Well, Stephen, I really think you have to have patience. You didn't gain the weight overnight. You probably didn't lose it overnight, and that was probably a good idea not to lose it overnight. Rapid weight loss and gain can be a real stress on the system. So be patient. But we forgot a really important tip that we want to do to make sure our skin can be as tight and youthful as possible. And I know you know exactly what I'm going to say. And that is the power of high intensity interval training. Exercise, the way we move, can really help improve our skin. And why is that? Because high intensity interval training stimulates human growth hormone, HGH, our natural youth store. HGH is responsible for helping our skin stay healthy.
Right. Absolutely.
And I'm going to really encourage people who've lost weight to modify their exercise routine towards a high intensity interval program, intermittent type of burst training, we might call it, because this stimulates the human growth hormone. Extended cardio is, I believe, oftentimes a stressor. Just close your eyes, Stephen, right, and visualize a marathon runner and a sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
The marathon runner often looks like saggy skin and bones, right? They don't have a lot of muscle definition. They don't have a lot of burst. The sprinter has definition, power. So this is what the type of exercise you want to do. That's because they're stimulating their growth hormone instead of stimulating their stress hormones. Stress hormones cause skin to get saggy.
So it's one thing to say it. Do you have any recommendations of what them to view? I know when I was traveling, I used fitnessblender.com has every type of workout you'd imagine. They have HIIT training, HIIT, and I did several HIIT training workouts while I was away for 11 days traveling because I didn't have access to a gym. And a lot of people wouldn't, even if they have access to a gym, they're not going to know what that type of training is or to see examples of it. Do you have any recommendations other than what I just mentioned?
Stephen, I think you covered it well. I mean, thank goodness for YouTube. You just put in high intensity interval training routine. And it doesn't just, again, it's when you're moving those large muscle groups, but you can start small. And even if you can only do a couple of things, you're doing the right thing. The whole idea is to burst and give yourself that recovery, allow your heart rate to drop that 50 or so points, and then resume it and add more intervals. You're much better off spending 45 minutes doing, 10 intervals of, little bursts with, 5-minute rest than you are to go do a 45-minute of bust butt cardio that's stressful.
Absolutely. And my resistance training workouts are usually only 30 minutes. It takes nothing to go in and do what you're talking about. You exhaust yourself very, very, very quickly. You get tons and tons of benefits.
Let's clarify, and it can be resistance, but when we're talking about HIIT, they can do 3 to 5 1-minute bursts of, say, drop down burpees or something, or air bursts, and then stop at the top. And it's that recovery period that I think is so helpful. Right.
And it's still, when I say resistance training, if you do a burpee, there's plenty of resistance.
Yeah, your own body.
Yeah, that's resistance training. So it's definitely resistance training involved in HIIT. The other thing I'd recommend for that is maybe one sprint workout a week where you sprint for 20 seconds, maybe 100 meters. You stop for 90 seconds, you do it again, and just that 6 or 8 times, just that. So the whole workout is, 10, 11 minutes, mostly resting between the sprints, and that has tremendous benefits also. Just
what's my favorite thing, Stephen? Because I love encouraging people to walk and be present with nature. So just start walking. Many people who've either trying to lose weight, that might be their best bet of exercise. I love, some of my mentors have encouraged people that walking is the best exercise to do if you've had stress, because otherwise you might encourage, instead of human growth hormone, you encourage stress hormones. But walk and then say, today I'm going to do 2 sprints during my walk, but then I'm going to walk and be peaceful in between.
Yeah, my friend, that one of the reasons why I encourage you to have this video with me, he is pushing 300 pounds. We will not mention any names to protect the innocent, but we're starting him just walking. As a matter of fact, he did that just like the day after I left visiting him. So yeah, walking is really important, especially for people that are, obese or extremely overweight. You can't get into HIIT training right away in a lot of cases, or sprinting or any of that stuff.
Walking. So, because if you get one little sprint in, the next time you say, I can do 2.
Right.
I think that's all really good. There were a couple other supplements that I thought of. Vitamin C is important. Vitamin C is a cofactor for building healthy ligaments, tendons, collagen. If you want to make good collagen last in your skin, you got to make sure you have good vitamin C. Right. I like whole food vitamin C. eat some fruit, the whole fruit. Don't drink lots of fruit juices. Take a whole food vitamin C that has the whole compounds, bioflavonoids. And I love Premier Research Nutrition. They have a special product for the energetics of the skin. It's called Dermaven. Dr. Marshall is famous for all of his products that end in the word ven. Really what these products are is they have the ideal resonance of the skin. Okay. And this is really a keratin, magnesium and coral. It's got, it really has kind of a situation where it puts all the ingredients and energetics that help your skin be its ideal.
All right. Well, so we've covered a lot of stuff. We're about 25 minutes into this video, so that's plenty of content. If anybody has any questions other than that, they can comment in the comment section. We'll make sure to answer those questions specifically for everybody else out there. Yeah. So Paige, we've got some good information here for optimal health and
peak performance.
So thanks for sharing that information, and lots more to come. Any topics that out there for the viewers that you're interested in hearing about, please just make a comment or a question about that, and we'll make sure we cover it in a future video. These will be recurring and often, because Paige is a wealth of knowledge. I've never met any, and I know quite a bit about nutrition and health, but have been blown away since having met Paige well over a year ago, and her knowledge and skill set in the human body, nutrition, supplementation, pretty much anything you can imagine. She's a walking, talking encyclopedia.
Oh, you're sweet. I love learning, and I like sharing even more. So.
All right. So until next time, thanks, Paige.
Thanks, Stephen. Have a great day.